Hey, how's it going, everyone? Here's another knife review of this new knife that I just got today that I'm really amped about. It's a really cool knife. It's the Spyderco Vallotton or Vallotton. This is a really cool knife. I got this in a recent trade, and I was really surprised by this knife when I opened it up. It is a really cool knife. It's a little collaboration, again, by Spyderco and Vallotton. Really quick comparisons here. Here you go with the standard, the large Sebenza 21. This knife right here, the Lum Tanto, which I compare it very closely to. The specs are very close to this this knife. And then again, here is a comparison against my newly acquired Emerson Horseman that I'll do a review on later. So quick specs on the Vallotton from Spyderco is it's a 3.75 inch blade with CPM S30V. It is 6.2 ounces and the blade stock is 0.156, so a 4mm blade stock, and it's kind of it's not really a tanto because there is no tanto edge here. It's a full sweeping edge with a full belly, but it's kind of got this little tanto thing going here, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So, you know, this 4mm stock goes almost completely to the edge. So this blade stock is pretty overwhelming when I first opened it up. And I thought this was thick because it went all the way down to the tip here, but this is just 3mm. So the Vallotton by Spyderco is a whole millimeter thicker and all the way down to the tip. So really quick, you know, this blade is, or this knife handle is huge. If you look at the comparison here between the two, I mean, the Vallotton, I think where the stainless steel liners end is about as thick as this Lum Tanto. So this is a really beefy knife, and you can imagine why this knife is 6.2 ounces. These stainless steel liners are massive. I would say about as thick as maybe like the ZT 350. I just tested out that knife today at a store, and those liners were really thick, and I think these liners are just as thick. Stainless steel. Usually when you see a knife with bolsters, maybe you think titanium, but these are stainless steel bolsters. I think they call it the sub-hilts. I think because there's this cutaway where they have the little G10 inlay as well here. These are G10 scales, but they're beautifully polished, and it almost looks like it has a wood grain on it, almost kind of like micarta or not carbon fiber, but yeah, it definitely looks like some kind of wood. It's beautifully made. When you look at the pattern on this knife, I think it's a gorgeous knife. Probably one of Spyderco's, I would say, highest quality looking folders. I haven't really played with any Spyderco's older stuff, but in terms of their current generation folders, this is, I think, at the top of the line here. This blade is made in Taichung, Taiwan. So, you know, and I myself am Chinese, Taiwanese, half-breed, whatever, and I'm not going to wave a flag or anything like that. But, so yeah, so I'm not speaking politically, I'm speaking purely out of experience. All the Sages that I've played with, the Gale Bradley, this knife, I know there's a lot of other knives that are made in Taichung, Taiwan, and you know what? Whatever's going on in their factory, they are doing an amazing job. I haven't had a Sage or, you know, the Gale Bradley I had, and this knife, I mean, the quality is, you know, on par with everything else that's made in Spyderco. You know, probably even better than some of the stuff that they make in Golden, Colorado, and Seki City. This knife, yeah, is amazing quality-wise. This is probably, I say this in a lot of my reviews, you know, one of the smoothest folders, but this, you know, is, man, this is smoother than my Sebenza. I'll say that without hesitating. Well, I guess I did hesitate because I didn't want to say it, but It really is. Um, the detent on this knife is perfect. The centering on this knife is perfect. The lockup on this knife is perfect. There's nothing wrong with this knife, and so that's I don't know. I'm really surprised by it. I guess. I mean, I knew it was going to be a good quality, and Spyderco always puts out good quality knives, but this is on, I would say, on par with like a well customized knife, and Spyderco did a fabulous job in designing this with Bush Vallotton, and yeah. So anyway, one interesting thing about this knife is the liner. It is a liner lock, obviously, and you see it, come through the middle. One thing about their design with Mr. Vallotton is you can see the cutouts here are symmetrical. So, but the liner lock is, obviously protrudes from this choil. And so if you look at some different, reviews out there, there's like the speculation that this liner lock would be really uncomfortable. But like, again, most of the reviews out there, you don't even feel it in there. It kind of just blends in with the choil, and it acts as part of the choil, and your fingers, aren't uncomfortable at all. You don't feel it at all. In fact, it kind of just rests. I think someone was saying within the folds of your knuckles here, and it works perfectly. There's a little bit of jimping on the top here, and it's works okay if you really dig in. But in general, it is smoother than a lot of other Spyderco jimping that I've encountered. Another thing that's really cool about this knife is the fact that it has these little thumb studs right here, along with the thumb hole, the thumb deployment hole. And you can use either one to deploy. In fact, what happens is your thumb kind of sits within the thumb hole and then kind of bears down against the thumb studs. So it's like the best of both worlds, and your thumb just kind of pushes off naturally, and the detent just lets it go. It doesn't fling out very easily at all, and once you push on here with like the barely any pressure, it just pops right out. Super smooth, rock solid lockup. When you look at this knife, you would think that with the high quality finish and everything, you would think that this is a very collectible knife, and indeed it is. The only thing that's weird about this, and I think John Wayne Colt 45 mentioned this in his review, was that, with this Lum Tanto, it is a sprint run. There's no holes that have been tapped on these handles except for the right hand tip up carry. And for me, obviously, that's great because I carry right hand, I carry tip up. But for this knife, for some reason, as beautiful as this knife is, they did tap holes for left hand, tip down, tip up, carry, and right hand as well. And yeah, maybe it detracts a little bit from the look of the knife, but not really. I don't really mind too much about the tap holes, but at the same time, I do kind of wish the bolsters were untapped. I think it would look a little bit better. Maybe it would look cool by adding some tritium stuff in there. I don't know, but overall, this knife is an amazing knife. It's again, I was just blown away. There's the Vallotton little icon there, which is kind of cool. Really cool icon. Anyway, I just wanted to throw out a quick impressions video, review of it. One other thing is that it carries surprisingly well in the pocket. As wide as this is, I think this is definitely wider than my Emerson A100. Probably actually maybe the thickest knife that I own. Yeah, but again, in your hand it sits really well, and in the pocket it sits surprisingly well as well. This is a cool pocket clip that I think they include on a lot of their ethnic series, like the Chokwe and maybe the Persian. I'm not sure. I think the Persian might have a special pocket clip. It's curved actually, but these, this knife, with the fit and finish and everything, it's just it's a perfect large gentleman's carry knife. And I could see whipping this out in the public, and it would not, I don't think it would instill any fear with anyone. If anything, people would think it's a really really sexy looking knife. and not be intimidated by the sheer size of it. This liner lock as well is just ultra smooth. There's no stick, there's no anything. It's very firm, and it just actuates perfectly, and the knife goes back centered great. So anyway, this is the Spyderco Butch Vallotton. Great knife. I would recommend it to anyone who can get their hands on it. Surprisingly awesome, even for like a non-lethal pummeling or some pummeling kind of blunt shot. You know, if you hold it like this, it's very comfortable in the hand. You hit them with these steel bolsters, and you're going to do a lot of damage to someone's head or thigh or whatever. So yeah, it's a really cool knife. Let me know what you guys think about it. All right, take care. Bye.